What's up, everybody? Ben Razza here for Odd Chopper. I am back. The NFL rolls on. Week 7 is upon us. Survivor gets that much more difficult if you are still alive. If you still have survived, then you've got an opportunity to really make some money because the pools are thinning out. There's no doubt about it. And there's not that many teams that are viable on this slate. We've got buys on buys on buys. We've got, let's rattle them off here, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Titans, the Jets, the Panthers, and the Texans all on buys. That makes this incredibly difficult, but we're here to break it down. I'm going to give you 3 options for Survivor, talk about some of the teams you should at least consider. That's just one of the many things we've got going on here at Odd Chopper, all things betting. Welcome aboard. If you are new, take a look around. We've got picks for every game. We've got parlays. We've got all sports. I hope you stick around, subscribe, hit the like button. It is appreciated. Enough about that. Let's dive into the teams. Here we go. First up, brought up the money lines here just to give you a point of reference on what we're looking at. The Buffalo Bills are going to be popular by default. Step one, a lot of people probably already use them, so I don't think they could be crazy popular, but they're the biggest spread on the entire board. They're upwards of minus 400 in the money line. They are on the road in a divisional game. That is not the best situation for Survivor, but we'd be stupid not to at least mention them. So let's talk about this matchup. They're a 4-2 team, 1-1 away from home. Josh Allen, it was ugly against the Giants. We saw it. They did not look good as a 15.5-point favorite, but they did get the job done. A lot of people probably used them there. Again, but if you have the Bills available, if it's not now and you haven't used them, when are you going to use them? Are you going to wait till week 17 when they get the Patriots at home? I'm not sure leagues are going to go that long, depending on how big your tournament or pool is. So you might want to look to them sooner rather than later. And they're taking on a New England team that, it was almost a joke hot take a couple weeks ago. And I wasn't the only one that said this. I was saying the Patriots might be the worst team in the league. They might be the worst team in the league. They're 1-5. They're 0-3 at home. They've got nothing going on. Another bad loss to the Raiders. Mac Jones looks lost. Maybe Malik Cunningham will give them something. Who knows if that's ever really going to work into a substantial package. Against the Bills, you would think there'd be disadvantages up and down. That defense is banged up. Yes, they're at home. And yes, it's a divisional game. And yes, it's not the minus 900s that we saw in week 6. But the Buffalo Bills have to be considered. I'm going to put them on the board as a potential candidate for Survivor, not breaking any news there. So we've got the Bills as one of the potential teams to look to. So we got 2 more. I'm going to give you kind of an aggressive one next, and then I'll give you where I would go for Survivor. But I also like to let you know, whether you're playing in Survivor pools or not, whether you're still making some wagers or not, if you were in, I'm going to name 6 states. If I didn't name your state, honestly, just fast forward to the next pick. But if you are in New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Iowa, Kentucky, or Colorado, I got some money for you. You are lucky enough to get $150 in bonus bets just by clicking the link below and betting $5 on Bet365. You get access to a book that certainly has been around forever, all sorts of options, a very credible one, another way to shop your lines. And they are giving you the bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets, win or lose. You make that bet and you lose, you still get it. Make that bet and you win, you still get it. In Kentucky, it's bet 1, get 365. I do have to point that out. Outrageous deal. But 5 into 150, best deal in the industry right now. Got to be 21 plus. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Bills on the board. What's next? Scrolling. I told you I'm going to go aggressive. And this is very aggressive. I want to make that clear. I scrolled right past the game. Good job, Ben. Falcons, Bucks. Competitive game in the South. I think you can go to Tampa, though. If you're in a large pool and you know that, okay, I've been going chalky, I need to be different, I need to conserve, I want to roll the dice, I'm willing to lose here, Tampa Bay is a very interesting option. The Falcons are a mess. I was so disappointed. I bet them on Sunday. I watched the game from start to finish. They gave that game away. Ritter, 3 horrible interceptions in the dome where they're usually much stronger. Now they got to go out to Tampa. They're winless on the road, couple losses already this year. I don't trust this Falcons team whatsoever. I do not think they can get out of their own way at times. And again, when you look at the opportunity cost with Tampa, it's a team that you're probably going to have available. I'd say almost everybody does. The Panthers at home is the best spot. I don't think that's up for debate. But this is a different spot to be. I don't think a lot of people are going to go here. And if you don't use them against the Panthers coming up, this might be one of the only other options to deploy them this entire year. It's a 3-2 team, and their losses are to the Lions and the Eagles, who both look like they're two of the best teams in the entire league. Baker, I'm not gonna say it's a resurgence, but he's played well. He has. You've got weapons on the outside, a defense that's not going to allow Atlanta to really bleed the clock and run. If they put pressure on Ritter, we could see 3 more picks in this game. Again, it's clear. The money lines tell the story. You're incurring a ton more risk than some of the other options out there, but if you get it right and you use Tampa, you set the stage if we get a couple upsets to wipe out a ton of the few remaining teams in pools, because last week, certainly with the Niners, with the Eagles, if you didn't go to the Dolphins, which we talked about in the video, you might have got knocked out. And that you saw a lot of people get knocked out with those 2 road teams getting clipped by the Jets and by the Browns. So this is an opportunity to be different once again. Extreme caution, but I like Tampa in this game. I think that Tampa is not going to lose this game at home to Atlanta. I don't mind them for an against the grain survivor pick if you want to be different. So we've talked about the conservative Bills. We've talked about Tampa as that aggressive pick. Where would I go for survivor this week? Let me get to that in just a second. I do use Odd Chopper kind of as this live odds screen, by the way. I always like to say this. This is free. You can just always go to oddchopper.com, go to odds, and you can pull this up just to shop. But if you do like to bet, I'm going to bring up just the tools to show you. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's populating right now. We got Mark Stone, shots on goal. Maybe you go under tonight, see what happens. Anything you want, this market-based approach, it updates in real time. It is fully customizable. A bankroll tracker on the right. So if you want to know how much should I be betting, you just type in what you're looking to do, and it will tell you the bet size. Everything is customizable. Oh, this is great, but I don't have access to these books. Okay, just pick the ones that you do. Boom. Updates right there. You can sort, you can filter by leagues, by bet categories, by bet types. Fantastic stuff. A huge part of my process every day. When I'm crunched for time, I go here, I sort by EV or OS rating, place my bets. I'm done in 5 minutes. I really believe in this. It is profitable. The market-based approach can really help you. Link is below. Come and test this out. Join this community. Be part of this team here at Odd Chopper. But we need to find our survivor pick for the week. I think they're going to be popular, but I honestly think this is the best when you factor it all in. If you have the Seahawks available right here, this is the spot at home against the Cardinals. Again, they're up there with the Bills in terms of a pretty heavy money line favorite, pushing minus 400. So you're not going to be sneaking up on anyone here. But if you're looking to survive in advance, not a huge opportunity cost. And the Cardinals, let's talk about these teams before we get out of here a little bit. Cardinals are fighting this year, and they're still 1-5. They're a Cowboys no show away from, they could have no wins still. They're 0-3 on the road. It's not great. I think, with Dobbs, it seems to not really be working right now. There's no surprise. They knew they were going to struggle, but Hollywood Brown on the outside, they can't get much going. Kyron Williams last week in the second half absolutely gashed them. He had like 150 yards rushing. They were not able to do that, and they're taking on a Seattle team that's back home after 2 straight road games. They're 3-2 on the year. They already played the Panthers at home, and a lot of people went to Seattle there. If you didn't use them there, I should say, clearly, if you did, this is all irrelevant because you don't have them available. If you have them available, it's now or at home versus the Commanders. Those are really the only 2 spots on Seattle's schedule that I would be interested in for Survivor. So you have to make that decision. And what I would do, I would look at who you've used, who you have available, and look at this week, and then look when Seattle plays the Commanders in a couple weeks, and just compare options. And if you see that you don't have a window in this week, or you have other options in that Seattle Commanders week, I would roll Seattle right now, get them out of the way, move on to week 8, and then you'll have a plan when everybody else is going to Seattle versus Washington. Because to me, this is a really good spot at home. I expect that passing attack to look much better. I expect Seattle in general to look much better. They're pushing north of a touchdown here in terms of a spread. Give me the Seahawks for Survivor this week. Again, I think they check most of the boxes. Depending on how many people use them in your pool already, they won't be crazy owned. They're going to be popular. But to me, this is the right spread. So you've got 3 options there, from the Bills to the Bucks to the Seattle Seahawks. Appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out a little Survivor action as we see the NFL season roll on. If you have any questions at all, anything I can do to help, just tweet me at JazzRazDFS. Happy to help. And of course, you'll be seeing me here at Odd Chopper talking NFL, college basketball, college football, and everything in between. For me, for these teams, and for NFL Survivor, good luck enjoy the week. I hope you survive in advance, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place.